Welcome to Designing the Future, where we dive into the details, the craft, the role of quality glazing in timeless designs. And today we have a wonderful guest with us, Greg Natale.
Hi, Chris.
How are you,
Thank
Greg?
you. Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, mate. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm the founder of my own design studio.
Yep.
We're based in Surrey Hills. We're architects and interior designers. I started my business in 2001, so I'm about to turn 24. And probably about 15 years ago, which makes me a bit unique in this design world, is that I started designing product.
Yes.
So it started with a rug range, and then it went into wallpaper. And then 10 years ago when I moved into this place, I had the space to actually start a product design company. So I also am a product designer now.
Yeah,
so
wow.
we have a store in Potts Point. Our ranges that I make myself, that we make ourselves and distribute on warehouses, bed and bath, decor and tabletop.
Yes.
We're in David Jones, we're in Maya, we were in Maya. We're in David Jones, we're in Domain, independent stores. We're in Bergdorf Goodman in New York, which is a big deal. Lane Crawford in China, Fraser's in England, other independent stores in Singapore. So we're sort of stocked all over the world now.
And how did you get started doing what you're doing?
Look, Chris, I was one of those really lucky kids that knew what I wanted to do. I don't know how it happened, but at the age of 10, my crazy brain said, I want to be an interior designer.
Yeah.
My mother had no idea what it was. And she's like, why don't you become an art teacher? But, you know, me having this strong personality just persevered. I then started buying, home magazines like Home Beautiful and Belle Magazine and Vogue Living at a really young age. I think what it was that made me understand that there was such a thing of design is that my older sister, who's a lot older, is a fashion designer.
Okay.
So there was design magazines all over the house, fashion magazines.
Yep.
So I knew what design was. My father was actually a form worker and a carpenter.
Yep.
So from a young age, I understood what building was and I understood what design was. And then look, my parents are Italian immigrants, so they worked really hard. So we didn't travel much as a family, but I sort of traveled through film and television. So seeing sets at a very young age made me fall in love with interior design. So then, at high school from year 7, I started, my subjects were geared at that art and technical drawing. Mm-hmm. And then I did that for my HSC. Straight out of school, I went and studied interior design. So I've been working since the age of 22 as an interior designer.
Yep.
And then in 2001, I started my own business.
Yeah, right. And how has that gone for you in starting your own business? It's some ups and downs and some crazy rides?
Oh, of course. I say to everyone that it takes 10 years for a business to take off.
Yep.
And that business is really about concepts and formulas. And it takes time to find that concept. It probably, I think, maybe took me about 5 years to really work out what this concept is. Mm-hmm. In year 4, I actually hired a business coach.
Yep.
Because I couldn't even read a profit and loss statement.
Yep.
And most creatives, where they fail is that we're not good with money and we're not good on the business side. So I went and educated myself on the business side. I can now read a profit and loss statement. That made a really big difference. And even with my product business, honestly, with my product business, we're still in that sort of I wouldn't call it an infant anymore, but it's definitely not an adult yet.
Yep.
So we're at year 8.
Yes.
So like I said, it takes about 10 years for a business to take off.
Takes a long time.
It takes a long, long time.
A lot of hard work.
You've got to it's hard work, it's persistence, and it's really about belief in yourself, and you've got to really, really believe it. You can never, ever doubt yourself because it is tough. It's really, really tough. Those first 10 years are not easy.
No. And you've written a couple of books.
I have written 3 books, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell us about the books.
So the first one is instructional. It was actually it's an instructional book, so it's actually a really, really amazing book. It's really my manifesto. It's out of print, but you can still get it.
Yep.
And then I will, like, as we go on, I'll talk more about it. So it starts from, like, you know, it just breaks down how I design. It starts from, like, the starting point right down to the finishing layer of, like, the little decor pieces I design. Then the next two are monographs. So they go project by project, so they're more serious books.
Yep.
But I felt like it was important for my first book not to be a monograph, but to really illustrate what my philosophy on design was.
Yep. So so anybody that would grab that book would be able to learn quite a fair bit.
Yeah. I actually really gave a lot in that book.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good book. I always encourage my staff to read it. Mm-hmm. Some of them haven't read it, but, you know, it really gets into my head.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we met some time ago. You're currently designing your own place.
Yes.
And you came down to see us at our showroom.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that experience for you and coming down and speaking to myself.
So we were introduced by, it's Allspec, isn't it?
Allspec,
Allspec.
Yep.
We were introduced by Allspec, who are fantastic. Spiros is amazing.
Yes.
So Spiros recommended you. We had a conversation about it all. And then Renee and I, one of the architects, came and saw you. And we were actually just blown away by your setup, your knowledge, your setup. And it was great. It was a really great experience.
Tell us a little bit about the design, your design.
So this is going to be my office and home.
Okay.
So me, myself, my partner and I bought this dream property in 2020.
Yep.
We weren't even actually looking. So when I bought this office, Chris, I had my eye on that site. And I mean, it probably wasn't the greatest time to buy it, because it was just out of, like, we came out of our first lockdown, but it was just too good not to buy. And it's an old garage.
Yep.
Actually, it's an old stables.
Horse stables.
It was horse stables from 1860.
Right.
And then in 1920, it was turned into a mechanic. It's still a mechanic.
Yeah, right.
And then at that period, 2 apartments were put on top. It's the cutest little, like, Georgian building.
Yep.
The office will be the 2-story, like, stable, garage building. Then we're going to put a basement in, and then there'll be an apartment on top of it for us to live in. The look is modern, it's clean, and it's going to have really good windows in it.
Yes, they are.
It's going to have
energy
really good
efficient.
Energy efficient and really good windows.
So your work is known for bold and timeless style.
Yeah.
If an architect or a builder wants to create a space people never want to leave, what's the first design choice that they should focus on?
Like I said, my book, The Tailored Interior, the first chapter is called The Starting Point.
Yep.
And it's actually the hardest thing, is the starting point. So, so the starting point, like, can sort of be anything. It can sort of be anything. If it's a new build, it can be the location, or it can be a style they like. But I always say, once you have your starting point, then from the starting point, you create a concept. And when you always are making decisions, you always come back to the concept. But I always say to anyone, architects, builders, clients, anyone, just always have, like, your starting point and always go back to it. When you need to ask a question, just go back to your concept.
So what was your concept for your new build?
Look, I love, like, my favourite design style is, I'm actually a modernist at heart.
Yep.
I'm a modernist. And there's a few architects that I really admire. Like, one is an American architect called, oh my God, I've gone blank. He'll come to me. He'll come to me. So I am Paul Rudolph.
Yes.
Paul Rudolph.
Yep.
So I really like Paul Rudolph's work. We had to keep the old building. We did have to keep the old building.
As part of the requirements of the build?
It wasn't heritage,
Yep.
but Sydney wanted the old building. So that was a bit hard for me, because I just wanted this really beautiful modernist concrete building. My father was a form worker.
Yep.
So I love concrete and form work.
Yes.
So I wanted a lot of concrete in it. We had to keep the old building. So what was interesting is that the facade is Georgian. It's got these columns. So the rest of the building has got these concrete blades which follow the geometry of the Georgian columns.
Yep.
So that's how I was able to tie in the old building.
Mm-hmm.
And then council wanted a lot of brick.
Yep.
Because it's a brick building, it's a brick precinct. So then it was a mixture of tying in, and the starting point had to be the building.
Yes.
It had to be, you can't fight it. And then it was like having that modernist concrete. Paul Rudolph's work was very sculptural. That's what was so interesting about him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the interiors reflect that. The interiors are actually really clean. My work can be really bold. It can be very layered, but I'm probably going a bit more simpler. There is going to be some bold color inside it,
Yep.
but it's going to be quite modern and masculine.
And it was a real opportunity to get that site, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to take a risk and
Well,
grab it with both hands. don't you?
We just had to, because it was like I said to you, it was in the perfect location. It was the perfect site. It's got an 18-meter height limit.
Yeah, right.
Where this place where we're in now, the height limit is only 2 stories.
Yeah,
so I
okay.
could never do anything with this property.
Yes.
But it was, at the time, it was the right thing. It was just the right thing. So yeah, we just had to go for it. Had to go for it.
So with the build, when you design anything, what are the most important things that you take into consideration?
Look, I'm putting my architect's hat on because I actually studied architecture. You've got to look at the site.
Yeah.
You've got to look at the sun. You've got to look at the area where you're in. If it's like a new build or if it's like a renovation. If it's like a renovation like what I had to consider heritage.
Yep.
So that was a big consideration. But also, you can't let all that dictate. You've got to put what you love and what you like.
Yeah.
So, it's either in this world you're a modernist or you're a traditionalist.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely a modernist, so I went that way. So I was, and council loved it. And in the end, it nearly actually got to court, Chris.
Yeah, right.
And in the end, the senior team leader approved it because she said to me that it's got so much design excellence, I'm actually approving this building.
Yeah.
Because the way that we integrated the heritage and the new building and everything tied in, she approved it because it had so much design excellence, because it started getting really butchered by stuff that council was asking. And it was probably going to be heading into like court. So
obviously you would have faced a couple of roadblocks from council, from other people as well.
Yeah.
How did you handle that?
Do you know, really cleverly, Chris? Look, I actually come from a commercial background.
Yep.
And look, when I started my business, like I said to you, it takes years to find the concept. Because you actually don't know. You think, okay, I want to be an interior designer. I want to start my own business. I actually came from a commercial background.
Yep.
So I put my commercial hat in and I brought the engineers in from the beginning. So I actually designed the building with the engineers. I knew it was probably going to head to court because I know what council's like. So we actually designed the buildings with the structural engineer, with the mechanical engineer, with the stormwater, with the BCA, with the access. So I knew if I had all that, if I had those guides and that information for when I had to go into council, because they wanted to squash the building. Councils love squashing buildings.
Yeah.
But if we squashed the building, it meant that all the ceiling heights would have been 2.4. They didn't want that. I didn't want it.
Yeah.
So because I had the information of what the ducting and the beams were, they actually helped me get the building height through.
I think it's so important. I've got a commercial background too, if you don't know.
Yeah.
And
I actually don't. I don't.
So I've specialised pretty much my whole life in the commercial sector.
Right.
And it was only just after COVID that I pivoted into the high-end resi market.
Yeah.
And it was purely for the fact that there's a lot going on in the residential market that doesn't meet code, doesn't comply.
It's a bit easier.
And people are getting away with it.
And it's actually a little bit, it actually is a little bit easier. It is a little bit easier.
A lot
easier.
easier.
Someone can make it a bit more fun. It actually can make it a bit more fun because it's a single residence.
Yes.
We don't have to worry about class 2.
Yes.
Which is a whole nother minefield. Yeah, so it's a little bit easier, but yeah.
But there's also, talking from the Windows side of things, from me, there's also no regulating body that actually can enforce penalties upon a window company for not installing the correct glass or windows, for instance. So that also makes it a bit challenging for people to select the right company. So the commercial background, like you said yourself, that it's very important that you understand that, because when you do face the challenges like you did, you can overcome them quite quickly because you've got all that information. They probably would have asked you for it anyway.
Well, but Chris, you know what? It just meant when I went into bat, I could make informed decisions.
Yes.
About, well, not informed decisions, informed statements.
Yes.
If that's the right word. That, well, if you make me squash the building, we're going to have 2.4 metre ceilings. And the ceilings in the commercial is going to be lower. And they actually didn't want that.
Yeah.
So by being able to bring all the engineers and having preliminary structural, preliminary mechanical, the stormwater, also having the BCA and the access, we were able to get a lot more through.
Yeah.
We were able to get a lot more through. So I did bring, so it was really good bringing the engineers in at the beginning. I think because it's actually really, I actually consider it almost like a commercial multi-res. Because it's
because you've got the commercial space below.
Yeah, I do. So we sort of really, I put that hat on there. But I think there's a lesson in there that even with residential and high end, when you are designing a big home, we often do bring the engineers in from the beginning.
It's so important to help with the designs, isn't it?
Yes. And look, let's just come back to Windows, because that's what you do. Even what's now great though, and I think it's been a push from local council, is that you have to think about Windows from DA stage.
Yes.
And the whole basics thing, which I think is important, has really forced architects and designers to think about Windows right from the beginning.
I think they make a critical element on the building, don't they?
100%.
I mean, a lot of people want these large windows, large doors, but then they don't take into consideration the consequences of energy efficiency.
And the heat.
And heat.
Yes.
And what the building will let in
Yes.
and let out, especially in summer.
Yes.
And how much energy you're going to consume.
Yes.
How do you see from when you started in your career journey to now, how much that's changed?
Look, I think just generally everyone's a lot more design savvy, and I think now, especially with Windows and with us, and we've had to learn from experience. Clients going out and cheapening out on Windows, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
It is not worth cheapening out on Windows. That's why I didn't want to do it with my place.
Yes.
Because that's when I met you, Renee, and I really liked you.
Yes.
And we're like, this is the right fit here. I've had clients that cheapen out on Windows. It's a disaster. It is a disaster.
I've heard some horror stories myself.
Yeah.
They go overseas, import them from China. They come in, they don't fit, they don't last. There's no warranty.
But even Chris, even the stuff you can get made in Sydney.
Yeah.
Even if you're using like an all spec
fabricator.
It just, you pay for what you get for.
Yeah, and I think it's quite hard to know who to choose, though, isn't it?
It is hard.
Because there is so many people.
There is so many people. But what I did is I went, look, there were some window people that we were already working with here.
Yep.
So we're working, but with my place, I wanted to have like an open mind. So then I spoke to Spiros, who is amazing at Allspec, and he recommended you and some others. And it was, we honestly just went out to tender.
Yep.
And we went out and saw everyone, and then and you weren't the cheapest,
no,
which is fine. And I'm never the cheapest as well, but it wasn't about the money. You weren't the cheapest. And then Renee and I just felt like you had the right product, but it wasn't even about the right product. Is that when you're in high end, it's all about service.
That's right.
That's what we are paying for. And you just provided an amazing service.
And technically, it's important to understand that too with your design. And I think that was, we've had to look at multiple different elements of the windows and how that works with your build.
But that's also a good service, though, Chris.
That's right. I understand that.
You know what I mean? It's also a good service. But yeah, you definitely know your stuff. But yeah, there's been a lot of back and forth with us and the windows, because at the moment we're in the construction certificate stage.
Yep.
So we've just finished the window coordination, and that's like a really big thing, because a lot of the windows that you're making to look really beautiful, that the tracks have to be hidden.
That's right.
So this has to be coordinated back with the structure.
Yep.
And for example, if it's not coordinated back with the structure, my father was a form worker. My father would never, ever, ever look at an architectural detail. He would only look at the engineering plans.
Yes.
So if we have a side track, the side of the track, is that what it's called?
Yep.
The side,
Yep.
the side of the track, the vertical.
Yep.
If that's not notched into an engineering plan, the form worker is going to miss it.
Yep.
And I know this because of my dad.
The set down.
Yeah, all the set downs, all that sort of stuff. So it's really important that services coordination is done with the windows. But we've just finished it now, and I actually really like it. I actually love this whole.
I think it's a great design.
Thank you.
I think you've done a really good job, and once it is built, I think you're going to be quite happy with it.
Thank you. No, I'm excited to do it.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about design that you've worked on in your past, and what was the most challenging of it that you had to overcome?
Look, I mean, I'm just trying to think of projects. There hasn't been many. I mean, look, there can always be very difficult clients.
Yep.
Very fussy clients. I was just at home and was just doing a bit of stuff to my apartment, and I just said, you have to have a patience of a saint to be in this business, don't you?
Yeah.
You have to have patience of a saint. I think it can get really, really difficult, and let's take away the difficult clients.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just take that away. Something that we've been transitioning into this business for the last year is we're moving from AutoCAD to Revit.
Yes.
And Revit, if like the viewers here, or the listeners, is that what you call it in a podcast?
Yeah, they're both. It could be both.
The listeners, if the listeners don't know, is that AutoCAD is really actually, what's the word? Antiquated? How do you say that word?
Two-dimensional?
No, it's two-dimensional. It's actually really old-fashioned.
Yes.
So AutoCAD is really like...
Sticks.
Well, the thing is that like we used to draw two-dimensional by hand, and that's what AutoCAD was doing. It's actually really laborious.
Yes.
So now we've moved into drawing in 3D. Now, what we found, what was becoming more of a problem, and especially with COVID, with this big push for video, is that the clients just couldn't visualize.
Yes.
They can't understand a drawing, and because of what happened in COVID, and so many like 3Ds and videos, the clients know that you can do 3Ds. So that's become like a bit of a challenge. And the clients, and these clients aren't even difficult, or they aren't even, or they just can't visualize.
So changing in technology is a challenge.
Yeah, it is. And it's not just, I've got a big team, so it wasn't like, okay, let's change programs. We have to upgrade computers.
Yes.
We have to retrain the staff.
Yes.
We've still got projects on AutoCAD, so we can't go back. So what we did with them in the meanwhile, we started just using SketchUp, which is pretty easy.
Yes.
To help the clients. And then, so for the last year, we've been transitioning. The new projects are all in Revit. Now with other architects, because we still work with other architects, because we look, at the end of the day, we are interior designers, but I have an architectural team.
Yes.
So we also do exteriors and a lot of windows. Mm-hmm. Now I'm just making these architects just push forward.
Yep.
So just push forward. And the clients are so much happier.
Because they can visualise it now?
They can visualise. But it's actually more fun, Chris. Yep. Everyone's having more fun in the office.
That's good.
Yeah, everyone's having more fun, because drawing in 2D is actually boring.
But it's also, so I can read plans, I have for a long time.
So can I, but you're obviously...
a lot of people can't.
No, but you've obviously got a visual mind.
That's right.
I've got a visual mind. I can close my eyes and see a room.
Yes.
But most people can't.
Yes.
So that's been a big challenge, but it's it's a transition. So we've been doing it over the 12 months. I'm amazing at AutoCAD. I can't use Revit, but I'm going to go next month and do a Revit course.
Yep.
And all the TAFEs are doing Revit courses. That's how I learned AutoCAD like a long, long time ago.
Yep.
But yeah, embracing technology.
Embracing technology, and like you just said, then you're upskilling yourself again. So you never stop learning, do you?
And I'm pretty sure that you're starting to offer your windows and your blocks in Revit.
Yes.
You are. You're doing it as well.
We're certainly doing it as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely still a transition. A lot of people are on AutoCAD. But I'm pretty sure that you're doing it as well.
Yeah, so we're looking at automating the factory process as well, so that the saws are automated from the computer. So as soon as we do the quote for you,
like a CNC.
Yeah, we've got a CNC now. Yeah. So, but that's very important as well. So, AI.
AI is an interesting one. No, we're using it more. We're definitely using it more. As the programs start integrating AI, we're using it more. For example, Creative Suite.
Yes.
Creative Suite is a big tool we use for the viewers or the listeners who don't know a Creative Suite. It's Photoshop, it's Illustrator, it's InDesign, it's all those presentation programs. It's what graphic designers use.
Yes.
But interior designers use it as well. We create all our presentations on
Creative Suite.
Creative Suite.
Yep.
AI is now integrated, so that makes it a lot easier if you want to change a color. Really funny enough, the interior designers have even been using ChatGPT to change the color of a sofa.
Yep.
That's speeding things up for them.
How fast is technology moving now?
It's moving fast. It's really good. But the problem with that, Chris, is makes me more and more impatient. And I'm like, come on.
Should get it done tomorrow. Now.
Get it done tomorrow. Do it now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they're using, because they've only started with Revit. I don't know how they're using it in Revit yet.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But for us, we're not letting AI design for us. It's just a tool to help us speed up.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you're a very creative mindset, right?
Yes.
And you always have been.
Yeah, I was a creative person from when I was a kid, yes.
Yeah, I'm a numbers person.
Yeah. Well, so do you know how hard, and so we're total opposites?
Yes.
So my admin team can sometimes clash with the design team because they're really black and white and they're numbers.
Yes.
And they're not numbers. And if they were numbers, they couldn't be creative. So I've had to become both. It's not easy as a creative.
So how do you switch? How do you switch your mindset? I mean, you're going from a left brain to a right brain.
How do I do it?
Many, many years of practice?
Yeah, it is many, many years of practice. Look, what's really good now is that as the business has become bigger, I actually meet with my accountant once a month.
Yep.
That's been really, really good. And also Jason, my partner, is actually an ex-banker.
Yes.
You ever met Jason?
Haven't met Jason yet.
You will.
Yep.
You will as we do the build.
Yep.
He's an ex-banker. He's been a big help. Big help.
Because he's a numbers.
He's a numbers
and
person.
you're creative.
Yeah, I'm creative.
Yeah.
So once a month we meet with the accountant. They run through profit and loss statements. I mean, I don't understand all of them all the time, but they really sit me down. We run through the numbers. We talk about strategies of where we can save money or what I should be doing. I don't know, Chris. It's just something I've had to become.
Yeah.
I've just had to become him. And I always say to a creative person, if you don't train your brain and if you don't get good at this, you are not going to survive.
Yes.
Don't rely on a business partner to do this for you. Because if you do, do you know what can happen?
Bad things.
Bad things, they can kick you out of the business.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or you're going to lose everything.
Yeah, you're going to lose everything.
Yeah.
You really have to be good. I still control the cash flow.
Yes.
I approve all the payments.
Yes.
So the admin team, they'll put all of the payments in. I still check everything, ask them, what is this? So I approve payments every day. So you have no choice. You have to become that person, Chris. It's not easy. It's hard.
As a business owner, you have to be across everything.
You got it.
And you have to learn fast.
You have to learn fast. And look, I always say to my staff, you can't have your cake and eat it.
No.
No, you can't have your cake and eat it.
Some people want that though.
You can't. You can't. You'll never have it. If you have, you'll fail. Yeah.
I think that's the things that you learn through your failures in business, isn't it?
Well, you know what? Failures are good.
They are.
Failures are good. I've read a few business books. Failures are good. You have to fail, even with the staff upstairs. You know, they have to fail. That's how you learn. But failure is only good when you learn.
That's right.
And it helps you get to the next level.
I think you have to fail, but you have to also fail fast and learn faster.
You have to. And it's also like bad luck. You know, business is about having good luck and bad luck. I've had both. I've had amazing luck. I mean, honestly, do you know how my product business started?
How?
It's a crazy story. I was at a design event 20 years ago and I won a rug in a lucky door prize.
Yeah, right.
And it was with a company called Designer Rugs. And so I designed my own rug. This started a conversation with the owner. And I said, I've got an idea for a rug range. Put it on paper. Started using it in projects. It ended up on the cover of Bell, and he's like, let's launch a rug range. And that was the start of the whole product business. So really, I took this little bit of luck. I saw the opportunity. I'm not an opportunist though.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, that can be a bad thing. But I saw an opportunity and I just went for it.
I think entrepreneur mindset as well, right?
Yeah, I do. I definitely have an entrepreneur mindset, definitely.
And you're willing to take a risk.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing your product range now?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah, and like I said too, it takes 10 years for a business to take off. So
What's
we're
your-
getting there.
What was the best product that you designed? The one that you enjoyed the most? There has to be one.
Oh, God.
Or you like them all?
Look, I do like them all. Look, I do love creating the decor. It's fun.
Yes.
Like the vases and the bowls and the boxes. One of our best-selling products is, you know, it's just it's something I fluked. So that's what I mean. Sometimes it's a bit of like it's my towels. It was actually one of the first things I designed. I designed it for a license I had with Maya.
Yeah.
But then I took back that license when I decided to do it on my own. And like I said to you, sometimes it's good luck or bad luck, or it's a bit of a fluke, or it's not a fluke. But even when you don't fluke something, you can learn from that.
Yes.
So what it is, it's a towel. And I put one of my signature geometric patterns on it, and it's in a jacquard. And if you guys don't know what a jacquard is, it's a woven pattern.
Okay.
And it was different. It just broke through everything because everything is a plain towel.
Yeah.
So and then these towels work in every interior. So they're still we've had them in the product range for 10 years. So it's a bit of a dream to design a product that's still selling after 10 years. So that was great designing that one. Look, what else do I like designing as product? Wallpaper's fun.
Yep.
Wallpaper's fun. I do like designing pattern. Pattern is a bit of pattern is in my DNA. That's how I actually started designing that was another thing that I used, Chris. My first project I ever did for my sister was 25 years ago, and I often say you usually get your lucky break from designing your own place or a family. And I was really lucky, Chris, because back then everything in Sydney was all minimal, it was all white on white and silver. And Serena said, I don't want that. Give me something layered, and I want colour, and I want something a bit luxe. So then I actually designed this apartment with a lot of pattern. And I sort of had this crazy idea, even back then I was thinking about a product business, was, well, maybe if I launch myself with something that's so different, and then maybe this could translate into a product business one day. So I was thinking about it.
So you're already thinking about it.
I was always thinking about it. And it did. The strategy worked. Everyone thought I was crazy, but the strategy worked. I ended up winning my first award with Bell. It ended up in Wallpaper magazine in London, which was big.
Yes.
And then I just sort of started building up on this sort of pattern thing. So pattern is part of the DNA of what we do, and it was really one of the it's in the DNA of what we do with the product business, and I think that's why the towels worked.
Yep.
Because it was believable.
And how long does it take to design products? There's sometimes that you've been
Years.
working on products for years.
Look,
That you're just trying to perfect it.
Yeah,
or?
look, a decor range, which is the vases and the bowls, about 6 months.
Yep.
A rug range, maybe about a year. The wallpaper range is probably about a year. If we're working if we're trying a new material in the decor range, it could take a year. It could take a year or two.
Yep. A lot of time and effort.
It's a lot. It's a lot of time. A lot of time in development, prototyping.
But you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it. Like I said to you, it takes about 10 years for a business to take off. What takes time? What takes time is actually finding the right people to work with.
I think that's hard, right?
Yeah, you got it. So you can imagine what I've had to go through with factories. Unfortunately, I don't manufacture much in Australia because we just don't have the factories here.
Yep.
So it's taken just a long time to find the right factories and partners overseas.
I think it is one thing that Australia does lack is that manufacturing here. Like there's a lot of companies that have moved offshore, whether it be cost implications, labour, and we're sort of losing the ability to manufacture our own products.
I know.
Here,
Does a
right?
fuss? I know I'm gonna become the interviewer.
Yep, go for
Does
it.
it frustrate you when the people are making windows overseas?
It does.
Yeah.
And do you know why it frustrates me? Because there's no... So a lot of companies, they will give you a certificate that it complies, but it doesn't, because they're able to give you a certificate and the certifiers, they don't look past that. There's no regulating body to enforce anything, especially not in New South Wales.
Yeah.
And I think that the thing that frustrates me the most is because I am very passionate about manufacturing.
Actually, you know
here in
what? That's
Australia.
another thing that Renee and I loved about you was your passion. That's another thing.
Well, look, I'm second generation.
Yeah.
My dad moved here with my mum from the Netherlands
Yeah, so am I.
in
I think,
84,
Yeah.
and I followed him at work when I was a kid.
yeah.
That's my passion too was to like you had for design was since a young age following my dad to be in the window game.
Do you know, Chris? You know what? We're actually lucky to be that. Are we second or no? I think we're first generation.
Oh well, yeah.
We're
Sorry, first.
So we're actually lucky to be first generation because we inherited our parents' drive to survive. I think the second generation is losing that.
Yeah. Because
so-
they're getting things handed to them,
Well, they
making it a
are. They
lot
are.
easier.
I mean, our parents came here with nothing.
Yeah.
And they had to really work hard and they had that passion. So I really think that being first generation, we're really lucky because we inherited that.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Yeah.
We have that first generation passion. But do you know what I find it a bit hard to understand, especially with aluminium windows, is why would you bother doing something overseas when it's got you have to like factor in all the shipping and all that sort of stuff, but also the speed of being able to make something locally with an aluminium product. To me, it just doesn't make sense. Look, honestly, we've done the research and the numbers. It actually doesn't make sense. It all sounds great.
It does.
Until the person out there, and because I have a product business.
Yes.
We have we have a lot of relationships with shipping. So I have a very strong shipping background knowledge
And
now.
knowledge, yep.
And you'll get a price or it costs that much, but how much does it cost to ship a container? Then how much does it cost to pay the customs
tax,
broker?
yep.
Then how much does it cost to pay the tax? And how much does it cost to pay the
Delivery to your
the
yard.
delivery, but also the duties?
Yeah.
It's like I've done all the maths. It's actually not worth it. It's actually not worth it.
But then you also don't have any control if something goes wrong either. You have to
No.
wait, what is it, 3 months to get it by ship?
Oh, yeah. It's actually just not worth it. Yeah, it's actually not worth it.
So going back to manufacturing in Australia, I also think that we need to support the local economy, and for me, being passionate to manufacture here is part of the reason why I've never imported glass. I don't import aluminium sections. Everything we make, we know it's tested here. And I think there's a lot of grey areas with suppliers. Does it conform?
You know what?
Does it,
You see, you've educated something to me and everyone. I assumed you guys were importing the sections.
No.
Wow, so it's all Australian made.
Everything's
I
Australian
did not
made.
know that. Wow.
So we get the glass. The glass obviously now is not made here anymore, the big sheets.
Yeah, I
but
know that.
because Oceania shut down, that was Australian manufacturing. That's gone now. But they import the big sheets and then they process the glass here.
Right.
And when it comes to aluminium, we're proudly Australian made now. We actually got that tick from the Australian made people. And the metal's extruded in Brisbane from aluminium, and it comes to us, and then we cut and machine and make it. So we're proudly Australian made, which is something that I'm quite passionate about.
That's great. It's really, really good.
Talk about standards and legislation and requirements that you need to meet in your designs.
So, look, I mean, probably what a lot of people don't realise, and, you know, it sort of drives me crazy, but of course a good architect and designer, 50-50 of what we do is that.
Yep.
It actually drives me crazy when, like, a builder or someone, and look, and I can tell you get it, but, you know, it actually drives me crazy when whoever, a builder or someone, can be really condescending or look down at an architect or builder. Of course we know what height to put a light switch.
Yep.
Of course we know what height to put a handle. And of course 50-50 of what we do is legislation. You know, Chris, if you let one, and I'm talking about a good architect or designer.
Yes.
If you let one overtake the other, of course it's going to be a problem. If you let legislation overtake the design, it's going to be bland.
Yes.
But if you let design overtake legislation and standards, it's not going to work.
Yes.
So then the client's going to hate you. So everyone out there, if you're working with a good architect and designer, it's 50-50. We know what we're doing.
Yes.
It just goes with, it's just like, you know,
But
it's just what we do.
being architects and designs, you guys and women, you make these amazing designs, but you also aren't going to know everything about legislation. You know a lot, but you're also heavily reliant on the trades that you engage to do the job as well, right?
Oh, look, of course. So, of course, you know, we always want to work with high quality people like you, high quality builders and high quality tradesmen. Of course, we don't know everything. And that's like just coming back, Chris, at year 4. I was like, I don't know how to read a profit and loss statement. I'm not good at this. I need to get educated. So I think a really successful person knows what they're not good at.
Yep.
And goes and gets help, or like hires the right people to complement that part of their brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely, especially in high end residential, you do have to work with the right builders.
But even commercial. And
commercial's the same.
I think there's so much changing in the commercial laws and regulations all the time. Architects and designers aren't going to know every single.
No, they're not. But a good architect or designer will know what they don't know, and honestly,
they will get that information as well very quickly.
Yeah, and look. 50-50, it's really 50-50 of what we do.
Yep.
We really do not let design overtake something being practical or something, you know, not meeting code or like using the wrong glass or whatever.
But sometimes it's challenging, right? Because
of course it's challenging.
Because you're making the designs and you've got all this information that you have to go through, and you also have to rely on the right people to give you the right information.
Chris, back to the beginning, this is why when I started designing our new place, I brought the engineers in from the beginning. It's a really, really good thing to do. Look, we even do it. I mean, if we're doing a small job, we wouldn't bother because I can design an air conditioning system. It's easy. It's common sense. But if we're working on a big home, we definitely have to bring all the engineers in from the beginning.
It's very important to be able to do that because then you know where everything's going to sit and how it's all going to work, right?
Well, because
you can change your design.
Well, then you don't have to change the design. Then what is going into DA? You know that when you overlay the structure, it's not going to be a different thing.
Yeah, it's going to work.
It's going to work. Yeah.
So you're very meticulous in your designs?
Yes, I am. Yeah. I've got a high attention to detail. My admin team has got a high attention to detail with numbers.
Yep.
The design team's got a high attention to detail. You probably don't work. It probably doesn't work if you don't have a high attention to detail here. And if you don't, we sort of just coach you and you get there.
It's good because you've also got a high set of standards.
You have to.
Because you hold yourself accountable
Yeah.
to the highest of standards.
You have to.
You have to have everybody else that's working with you do the same, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, another thing that we really don't use in this office is copies. Like, we wouldn't just go overseas and just like, you can get copies. It's almost like copies of your windows.
Of course.
We would never ever use copies in this office as well.
With talking about builds, how long does it take you to do a design for a new build?
All right. Well, look,
Talk about the process involved.
All right. Well, just the average, the average large home, a new build, and that's even a major renovation, because major renovations are basically new builds. We're just holding up 4 walls, probably about 4 years. It's a lot, 5 years.
Long time.
Yeah, it's about 4 or 5 years. So we are in this relationship with the client for a long, long time.
Yeah, right.
So the process is, we'll probably spend like maybe a year and a half, council approvals, detailed design, engineering, tendering, and then a high-end big home will probably take about 3 years to build. I don't think you can do it for less.
Yeah, that's look, it takes a long time, but also the whole process of getting the design right, understanding what your client's needs are, I think that's very important, and you do that quite well.
Yes, and moving into 3D is really helping.
Yeah.
Really, really helping.
Has that been probably one of the biggest advantages that you've seen in your industry? Is moving to 3D?
Yeah. I mean, I should have done it sooner. I should have just done it in COVID. Like my admin team and Jason were telling me, you really need to move into 3D. But it was just like I said to you, it's not like, okay, we're changing programs. We had to upgrade the computers and get everyone like educated. But, but there was also a wave that I couldn't control anymore. So, Chris, all the young kids, they don't learn AutoCAD anymore.
Right.
All the young kids, they learn Revit.
Okay.
So like everyone that was coming through now, they're like, we don't know Revit.
We don't know AutoCAD.
No, sorry, we don't know AutoCAD.
Yeah.
They all know. No one, they don't learn it anymore. So it was a bit of a wave. And, one of my things is, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
So I was on this wave now, and it's like the clients were demanding it. The new kids coming through didn't know AutoCAD. Jason and my admin team was telling me since COVID, because there was that real big video push and 3D push that happened there, because everyone was stuck at home. That's been a really big thing for us. But it's actually, once you actually draw the basic thing, it's actually quicker. It's actually quicker, because the way it works is you draw the house in 3D, and then you splice and you create sections, and that's all the 2D drawings.
Yeah, right.
So you still are producing 2D drawings. So, you might in a build have 10 sections. So the draftsman or architect or designer, they have to go individually and change even sections. And there's little tricks in AutoCAD, like creating blocks. Yeah, creating blocks and stuff. But in Revit, like you change a model, it'll change all the sections. Yeah, it's actually a lot quicker.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot quicker. That's making it easier. That's really making things easier for us at the moment. And I said, it's more fun. Everyone's having more fun again upstairs.
Yeah. Talking about COVID, how was that time for you?
Oh, it was horrible.
I think it was terrible for everyone, wasn't it?
It was horrible. It really was horrible. Look, I was lucky. We were lucky because we live close by, so we're able to come to work every day.
Yeah.
Look, I know this is probably not PC, but I'm really not a working from home person. For me, the creative process is collaborative, and I need to have everyone around me. And look, Chris, I know this is a funny statement I'm about to say, but when we got out of COVID, I realized I am an extrovert. Yep. I know that everyone says it. I am an extrovert because I do draw my energy from people and not being by myself.
Yes.
I remember the first event after the second lockdown, I was in this funk, and I was like, I wasn't down, but it was a bit of a funk.
Yeah.
And I remember going to my first event and I felt energized again. So I need to have the team around me. I struggle I struggle if I have to be creative on teams, because my personality is I can jump.
Yes.
So I can jump from the product team to the design team, and I'm really good at just like, you know, jumping from everyone's desks and working with everyone. I'm really hands-on. I'm at the office every day.
Yep.
Like for me, this is a job. I'm here 9 to 5. But
it's not just a job, is it?
No, it's not a job. I love it. It's a hobby that it's a hobby that I get to do. So it's a passion. But what I mean is that I treat this like I'm an equal to them.
Yes.
I'm here. It's 9 to 5. I don't rock up late. I'm not here. So, you know, we're all very equals. It's a flat structure. We did try a hierarchical structure once. It was a disaster.
Doesn't work, does it?
Disaster. Everyone's a lot happier.
Yes.
That they can just come to me. If they've got an idea, I can implement it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was horrible. But I was able to come to work every day. So there was a core group here that lived close. So we all could come to work.
Yeah.
Because it's 400 square meters, we all could social distance. The first lockdown was scary. That was really, really scary because 50% of my work went on hold. It happened. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, 50% of your work was on hold.
50% of my work went on hold, so it was scary, but it came back pretty quickly. Look, workflow wise, it was fine. It was actually fine. You know, my poor mother still lives in a family home out of Bankstown.
Yep.
So, you know, it was, you know, we had to manage her. My father passed away 8 years ago, so she was at home. No problem. All good. He was 92. So, you know,
life.
I know he had a great life. So at that age, to everyone, is you should celebrate life.
Yeah, of course.
So, you know, that was a challenge.
Yeah.
That was a challenge that, you know, I was one of my mother's carers, and she was in a area that was locked down. Mm-hmm. So that was a bit of a challenge. But, you know, it was horrible. And then what people don't realize, and I never studied economics, so I had no idea that we were going to have this high inflation after it.
Yep.
And it happened after the World War or the World Wars. It happened after the Spanish flu. It happened after the Great Depression. Did you get this high inflation? And that's been worse than COVID.
I think that's been more challenging then,
It's been more challenging. It's been horrible. But, you know, things are starting to calm down.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about implementing things for your team. How important is the speed of your implementation when you're running a business?
Look, I think that you, like, especially me, look, like I said to you, I'm a modernist. So I should have really implemented Revit earlier. But, you know, it was a big thing. So because it's a flat structure, I can implement things quicker. If they've got an idea, I think if it's a good idea, I'll run with it. And that's my philosophy with clients. Yep. I always say to them, if you've got a good idea, I'll run with it. But if it's not a good idea, I'll tell you, and I'll recommend that we don't. But I think definitely now you've got to be quick with technology. You really do have to be quick. And I went to an event yesterday, and all my I don't know, not co-workers, what's other designers and architects, my contemporaries or whatever. I'm like, what program are you using? What program are you on? And the people still on AutoCAD, I was like, you are crazy. Just move. And the other people are already there going, I can't believe you didn't do this sooner.
Yeah, so, you know, making those changes. Some though, like, you have to give yourself credit. You're making the change. A lot of people are stuck in the past and aren't doing it. But sometimes it's also not that easy to make that big change. No, there's a lot of processes involved.
Look at us. First of all, I'm pragmatic. First of all, we had to get, the staff had to get retrained. Then we have to slowly upgrade all the computers. I mean, if I had all the money in the world, then you know what I mean? But reality is you don't.
It doesn't work.
So we had to upgrade all the computers. And then, like I said to you, there was a wave already happening. All the new staff don't know AutoCAD. So then, but it's also the Revit program's a lot more expensive than AutoCAD.
Yes.
So that was the other thing. But anyway, it
takes time.
It takes time. It does take time. But you've got to be open to things. You've got to take your blinkers off.
I think when somebody comes to you with a good idea or with an idea, you have to listen.
Yeah.
and then go through the process yourself so
Yeah.
that you can then go through the
Yeah.
motions, right?
Yeah.
With your clients, when they come to you with good ideas, when they come to you with ideas, how important is being honest?
It is honest, and you know what's more important is listening.
Yeah.
Listening. You know, at the end of projects, my clients always say, "Thank you for listening to us." We've worked with other designers or architects that don't listen. Thank you for listening, and I've said to them that, you know, you're paying me a lot of money. I'm giving you my honest opinion. It's only an opinion.
Yes.
I'm not always right.
Yep.
But I don't think your idea is right, or I think your idea is amazing. Let's run with it.
Yep.
So I think that a really fantastic project is when my client pushes me, I push them. We work with amazing people like you guys, great builders, and you just come out with this just incredible thing or project that no one ever thought of.
Yep.
That's a really good project.
Yep.
It has to always be high quality.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Look, Greg, I really appreciate your
No
time
worries.
sitting
Thank you.
down with me
Thank you.
today. Thank you
No,
very
my
much.
pleasure. Anytime, Chris.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you. No worries. Thank you.